Straight ahead on 12 News, all about soul, the Brooklyn Park singer who's making a name for herself in music. And construction headache, a county road project that will take over residential yards and take 2 years to complete. 12 News starts right now. But first, we've learned a Plymouth man was killed working at the St. Paul Saints Stadium construction site.
It happened early this morning when a building being torn down partially collapsed. Family members have identified the victim as 61-year-old John Valek of Plymouth. St. Paul fire officials say he was operating equipment when the accident happened, trapping Valek inside. OSHA is investigating. The company doing the demolition work, Rachel Contracting, is the same one that tore down Brookdale Mall. A local county road is getting a makeover.
While the project is making improvements, it's also causing some headaches. Work is taking place on County Road 9 between Lakeview and York Avenues. 12 News reporter Sonia Goins has more on the project and the pain some Robbinsdale residents are feeling.
Been here 20 years. I raised 2 kids here.
Roy Ann Larson's home is right off of County Road 9.
This actually is a pretty busy street.
The longtime resident is upset over the pink stakes in her yard.
There are going to be station trailers out here. That's what they explained to us. There will be porta potties. Is that going to be an inconvenience? Yes. Yes. It's yes. Come on.
She was really surprised to learn about the project.
One morning you come out and there's a tractor on your lawn. There's people spray painting, ripping up the yard. Come out here and I said, please explain this to me. I really did.
Larson says the road work is already affecting her everyday routine.
Started here, had a huge tractor out here. I mean, they literally blocked me in for 45, 50 minutes before they decided to take a break.
This is a complete streets approach to this project. It's not a typical county road. It looks more residential in nature.
This is a major construction plan. Crews are upgrading sewers and trimming the roadway.
We're building a complete street, which includes on-road bike facilities and sidewalks.
In order to make those changes, crews have to temporarily take over some yards.
We have to pay them to be on their private property, but then in the end, for the most part, they retain what they already own.
They're tearing down my fence, all my foundation.
And that's not sitting too well with homeowners like Roy Ann Larson.
They get possession of my land. They'll be tearing down all this stuff for 2 years. Where am I going to park?
The project also includes brand new sidewalks on both sides of the road and a designated bike path connecting Robbinsdale to Victory Memorial Parkway.
In the end, it's going to be a nice looking corridor with much better pedestrian and bicycle accommodation.
While most agree the improvements are badly needed, not everyone is happy over the project.
That's my driveway. That's my front view of my home. I mean, the reason why I had this was I love Robbinsdale, and this is just going to be bad.
That's Sonia Goins reporting. The project is expected to be completed in 2015.
For 98 years, the Osseo water tower has been a city landmark, but some believe it may be too expensive to keep. The tower has been empty for years, but preserving it would cost as much as $400,000. Engineers told the city council Monday night it could be torn down for $30,000. Some residents are trying to get the tower on the National Register of Historic Places so that the city can obtain grant money. A public hearing will be held October 14th to determine the future of the water tower.
Taxpayers in the Wayzata School District will decide whether to approve funding for future school construction. On Monday night, the Wayzata School Board approved putting a $109 million bond referendum before voters in 2014. It would fund expansion of Wayzata High School and construction of a new elementary school. The district is currently pushing capacity limits. One reason for the space crunch, more families moving into the district.
We are expecting or anticipating the addition of about 1,600 new homes within the footprint of our school district. That's in the next 4 years, and that's compared to about 1,200 during the past 4 years. So we have the need, we have the student projections that support the direction that we're heading.
There's also a demand for classroom space because of the state's decision to fund all-day kindergarten. Wayzata closed its schools to open enrollment 3 years ago because of its capacity levels.
Turned down in Brooklyn Park, FedEx is now moving its sites west. The shipping company is exploring the possibility of building a ground distribution center in Rogers. Finance and Commerce magazine reports there's a request to rezone property to accommodate such a facility. The Brooklyn Park City Council recently voted down a FedEx distribution center at Highway 169 and 109th Avenue. The city considers that location a key development site. The council had concerns whether the project would create enough good-paying jobs. Coming up, a Golden Valley group not afraid to push their peddling limits.
Plus the debate over e-cigarettes. A Golden Valley business owner weighs in. Then later in sports, we catch up with the Breck boys soccer team, now ranked #1 in the state.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast.
It's a billion-dollar industry and growing.
E-cigarettes are increasingly popular, but they've also become the focus of big debate between regulators and retailers. Neil Persley has more on the gray area of electronic cigarettes.
Around them. There's no such thing as secondhand smoke. It's water vapor.
Maria Vervin is a Golden Valley online retailer of e-cigarettes. When she read a CDC report that said the number of teens using e-cigarettes grew nearly 5% to 10%, she was skeptical.
What they reported is that kids are trying and experimenting with the e-cigarette. Kids are prone to experiment with all sorts of things. That doesn't mean that they're using it on a daily basis.
Maria says she doesn't sell to minors and questions the motivations of negative e-cigarette studies.
There's lots of lobbying against it on behalf of both big tobacco, which makes perfect sense, and the other big lobbying group is Big Pharma. And Big Pharma brings us Chantix, and they bring us nicotine patches and gums.
Electronic cigarettes are banned for sale to minors in 10 states, including Minnesota.
I think it has a lot to do with access and making sure that the stores enforce the policies and they don't put them in an area where they're readily accessible.
Clearway, Minnesota, a nonprofit funded by state tobacco bond money, does see a risk to minors from e-cigarettes.
Unfortunately, there's just a lack of research, especially on the long-term effects of e-cigarettes, and that's something that's going to take time.
We've had lots and lots of study. One of the latest studies by Drexel University made 9,000 observations of this product. And in all 9,000 observations, they didn't find one ingredient that was at all at harmful levels to either the e-cigarette user or to the person around them.
E-cigarettes are regulated as tobacco products, a classification Vervin disagrees with.
And it doesn't really fit in the tobacco product category.
In Golden Valley, Neil Persley, 12 News.
The Food and Drug Administration could announce proposed regulations on e-cigarettes as early as this fall.
Well, coming up, a Brooklyn Park woman who's earned international acclaim in the music industry.
But first in sports, a great start for Maple Grove's volleyball team. Jason Malillo has that and more when we come back.
Welcome back. It's shaping up as a very good season for the Breck boys soccer team. The Mustangs are ranked #1 in the state in Class A. Breck enters Tuesday night with a record of 6-0, the most memorable game so far, beating Highway 100 neighbor Benilde St. Margaret's 4-3 a couple of weeks ago.
It was special, we have a long history with them, and every game it's a real battle.
It was special. We played them last year, section semifinal, beat them 1-0 at their house, and then went back there this year, beat them 4-3. Hopefully we'll see them in the section tournament again and knock them off.
Benilde is actually the only team to even score a goal against the Mustangs. All 5 of their other wins have been shutouts. Though they've had a pretty solid program, Breck hasn't been ranked #1 for about 8 years, so the guys have definitely noticed the rankings.
Oh, it definitely feels good. I mean, that is motivation to keep working hard, but then also it means we have a target on our back, so just keep working hard throughout the season, hopefully pull off some more wins.
It's great recognition for the guys. They've put in a lot of hard work. I don't think we can overemphasize it. I mean, being #1 is great recognition, but there's a lot of work to be done. We're only partway through the season.
After hosting Concordia Academy Tuesday night, the Mustangs play at Orono on Thursday. After previously having their girls' tennis match postponed by that late August heat wave, Maple Grove and Champlin Park decided to stick to their rescheduled date on Monday. even though it was 96 degrees on Monday. One single, Shannon Urich comes to the net and gets the overhead winner for Champlin Park. But Jillian Klassen is tough for the Crimson. She'll hit a nice forehand winner here on the line. Klassen wins the match in straight sets. Two singles, Anna Ersman in the far court for Maple Grove, Liz Lindgren for Champlin Park. Ersman floats a nice lob shot for the point. Lindgren responds, though, taking the short ball for the backhand winner, but Ersman would win the match. Third singles, Rachel Ellingson for Maple Grove, Diana Glebova for the Rebels. Glebova gets caught in no man's land, but still manages to get the point. Nice athletic move there. Nice get here by Ellingson, and she will loft a winner to the deep court. Ellingson wins the match 6-1 and 6-love. One doubles, Emily Sostrom and Jessie Kelly for Champlin Park, Jessica Barry and Selena Burnt for Grove. Kelly rips the cross-court forehand winner for the Rebels. Later, Barry's backhand sets up the big smash winner for Burnt. Champlin Park wins that match, though, in 3 sets, but the Crimson do win the duel 4-3. Their schedule will get tougher in the next couple of weeks, but it's so far so good for the Maple Grove volleyball team. The Crimson enters Tuesday's match at Champlin Park with a perfect 7-0 record. That includes 4 straight wins to earn the title at the Howard Lake tournament over the weekend. A good start for a young team that's ready for some good conference opponents.
I think so, because some of the teams that we've played so far this season, although they're all very good teams, we haven't been pushed, I think, to our limits. We were pushed a little bit on Saturday in the finals against Monticello, but I think Tuesday night against Champlin Park will be a really good test for us. Then we'll be able to kind of see how we might stack up against Blaine and Osseo, who we have next week.
I mean, I think we're off to a great start. We know coming in that we are going to be a young team, and I think we've bonded well, and we just had a really good start, and we hope to continue the success.
Former assistant coach Sean Haugen is the new head coach for the Crimson. Haugen was previously a head coach at Totino Grace. Former Armstrong standout Nikki Pinata is an assistant. It's gone well with the transition from former head coach Monica Getchell to Haugen.
Obviously there's like simple changes where it's just simple coaching styles, but for the most part, not a whole lot has changed. So.
We'll have highlights of Maple Grove's match against Champlin Park Wednesday at 4 o'clock on 12 Sports. And speaking of volleyball, Jay Wilcox profiles Hopkins star Samantha Seliger Swenson on this week's season premiere of Sports Jam. Here's a bit of that story.
Sam's already in her 5th season playing for her mom, longtime Royals coach Vicky.
I love it. I mean, she's a hard coach, but I wouldn't want to be playing for anybody else. She really pushes me and she knows what she's doing, so I love having her as coach.
We're together a lot, and sometimes we can be combative, and sometimes it is hard to separate. You know, I want to push her and work her harder, and sometimes I think she takes that as I'm, you know, riding her. You know, it's hard, I think, to separate mom and coach. And I just remember one day she just looked at me, I think we were at home, and she said, "Can you just stop being my coach and be my mom?"
Vicky's a mom to a large family these days. In addition to Samantha, Vicky and her husband Eric have 3 younger daughters, and they adopted Vicky's sister Terry's 4 kids after Terry was murdered by an ex-boyfriend in 2006.
And you can catch the rest of that story on Sports Jam Monday through Wednesday, 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30. It's a great story. It's a great family.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Jason. The Twin Cities Metro is consistently ranked one of the most bike-friendly places in the nation.
With an abundance of bike paths and trails to experience nature, it's no surprise why Minnesotans appreciate a good bike ride. And in today's Health Check, Blaine Cleveland introduces us to a group of cyclists that doesn't let age slow them down.
We're going to have a group picture.
Twice a month. Say cheese, everybody. When the weather permits. There you go. This gaggle of bikers with lime green shirts swarm the Golden Valley roads.
They're high visibility shirts. You can see us coming.
The group proves you can ride a bike.
Oh, yeah, it's good. It's a good day.
At any age.
This is a real fun group. Really kind of laid back and easy going, and very nice.
It's fun to be out.
Meet the pedal pushers.
Pedal pushers. That means we push those pedals.
It's a senior group ages 55 and up that meets every few weeks in the summer and has for the past 2 decades.
Our whole job is to make something fun, to get out and to stay physical so that you're more agile when stuff happens. You need to be strong.
Strong Strength isn't exactly a prerequisite on this ride, although it doesn't hurt on those uphill climbs.
Cut that part out.
Accompanying the cyclists on this ride are 2 members of the Golden Valley Police Department.
It's just a good way for us to build a close relationship with the community itself.
The police have turned this particular ride into a field trip of Golden Valley crime scenes.
And explain what had taken place and give some community safety tips along the way.
The pedal pushers seem to appreciate the history lesson.
It's very interesting to see that they've got a pretty tough job and very extensive as far as doing it.
But primarily, they enjoy the opportunity to explore Golden Valley's trails one pedal push at a time.
We're so lucky that we're in good shape.
In Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
And for more information on how to participate, you can go to our website, 12.tv.
Well, she is one smooth operator who's found a soulful niche.
Up next, meet a Brooklyn Park woman who's heating up jazz lounges across the globe.
And finally, a Brooklyn Park woman who's all about soul.
She's attracting attention in the music business, and she has a loyal British following to thank. Here's Eric Nelson.
Brooklyn Park's Timotha Lanae is a rising star in the music industry. Timotha's smooth voice and catchy songs have garnered her global attention.
Going to Park Center, I always loved to sing. I was always performing. I was in talent shows. I was harmonizing with my friends.
Later this month, Timotha will be performing in London, Manchester, and Paris. She has been nominated for the Best New Soul Artist in the United Kingdom.
The radio community, the DJs, they've just really embraced my music and have just been playing it and supporting me, and the people. So it's just exciting to be honored by being nominated.
This will be Timotha's 3rd trip to London this year.
Passing by the city lights.
Her hybrid sound, which is part jazz, R&B, and hip-hop, is trendy in the UK.
There's a lot of soul there. You know, if you think about the fact that even the Beatles came from there, and just the sound that they had back in the 60s, and people like Amy Winehouse, Adele, soul really is a part of the UK music scene. So I just think that they embrace this American girl and they like what I'm doing.
Timotha is multi-talented. Besides singing, Timotha appears in theater and films. In her debut album, Red, Timotha wrote 10 of the 12 songs, including People Pleaser,
You gon' lose yourself, people pleaser.
which vaulted to number 6 on the UK soul charts.
I've been inspired by a lot of different musicians, and somebody from London, Sade. I loved her. My dad used to listen to her growing up, and I really love her sound, smooth, laid-back soul with the influence of jazz.
That's Eric Nelson reporting, and you can vote for Timotha in the UK's upcoming Soul Music Awards. We'll have a link on our website. Go to 12.tv to vote. Good for her.
Click away, that's right.
Yeah, go get 'em. That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.